Hi, my name is Angela Fag with Messengers of Truth. Today is, hold on a minute. It's January 21st, Tuesday. Give it a second, it should work. There we go. Can you see that? All right. That's my proof, the day that it is, so you don't think I pre-recorded this and then, put it up there. Okay, so today is January 21st at approximately 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we have had a lot go on. I told you that I would always start out with telling you something about me from when I was a kid. So I will tell you about something. One time we were all in the living room and we were watching PBS, How Is This Made? And they were showing about lasers, and we were all really into it, because Star Wars and Star Trek or, all that stuff. I'm not, my brother was. Anyways, so we were like, oh, we can't wait until they come up with that stuff. And my brother was like, yeah, I want a lightsaber, this and that. And my mom said, she was an electrical engineer at the time, and she said, if they're willing to show this on how it's made, then that means they probably already have a lightsaber. She says there's amazing things, there's a lot of things that they've already done with lasers. I'm using that and as an example because she said, if they're showing this to us on TV, then that means that they have more stuff that is top secret or classified, right? But my thought process on it is, if we're paying for it, we need to know what's going on, right? So, yesterday, actually this last week was kind of rough for myself, and I cried a lot, off and on, because I just see that bad people aren't getting punished. And it made me very frustrated about certain things. And I was also nervous about the inauguration because I knew that all the important people, and that's what they are, regardless of what you think about them, they're important people in our government. And I didn't want anything to happen to any of them because that would have taken down the United States of America. That would have taken America down if something would have happened during I can't pronounce it again, inauguration. There you go. So I was on pins and needles about that because I just don't want people to get hurt regardless of who they are, especially any of the leaders of the United States of America, because this is my country and this is where I'm from. And that's just how I feel about it. It doesn't matter who it is. Like, I don't want anything happening to any of them because it just puts damage to it. Anyways, so today I watched everything yesterday, and then last night when I noticed that they weren't showing Trump signed the executive orders we put on last night, the White House, something told me that I needed to go check on the White House YouTube to see if they had changed it already. So I went over there and I told Jimmy, I was like, you need to hurry up. He's signing these executive orders and people need to see it for what it is and how he interacts with everybody else. Okay. I like Trump in a lot of ways. Okay, I like what he said. I laughed my ass off when he said the Gulf of America, okay, because it should be ours, because with the fact that, and I didn't even bring up this information, but I will tomorrow or the next day. The fact that there are other governments, submarines in the Gulf of Mexico and have been for decades and stuff, it needs to be the Gulf of America. So then with the hopes of everything changing, it could be an act of war, them being that close to our country, because they shouldn't be allowed to just hum around everywhere all the time. And I'm saying that because I live on the Gulf of America. Okay, I live on it. All right, like down here in Southwest Florida. You know, Cuba's not that far away, and China and Russia have been hanging out there for, I don't know, almost 2 years. So it's not like I don't find joy in that. I'm not far from the beach the way the crow flies. Now, if you're going to drive, it's going to take you an hour. Depending on traffic, it might take you an hour and a half. So I watch everything. We put that up last night so everybody could see. I was very happy about the J6ers because I watched January 6th, the whole thing on multiple different screens trying to catch everything, and I saw what was going on. I saw the men in black go through the crowds and stuff that looked like they weren't normal people. Okay, they were dressed in all black and they had a backpack and they had arm to arm touching each other, just like any Green Beret or Navy SEALs or any special ops is my point. Okay, so those people shouldn't have been in jail. And the way that the news has overreached and said all kinds of things like worse than Pearl Harbor, those people needed to be let out. But what it also showed was how bad the treatment is in our prison systems. And I've known this about the prisons, especially here in Florida. And a lot of people don't know that all the prisons, I'm not for sure about the federal prisons, but they probably are privately owned. So a lot of things go on there, and it's kind of crap, okay? So I like that he did that. I like the Gulf of Mexico. Another thing that I liked was the thing about the whales, which I also forgot to bring that up. But I know that, people have been paying attention, but the whales are important to our environment. And those windmills, those wind farms and everything being out in the ocean, it does nothing but shake the water. We're going to do a video on that to show you with a regular fan and a tub that I have to show you how it shakes the water. All right. And could you just imagine being in the water with it shaking like your house is always shaking around, right? I mean, that would not be cool. So you understand where I'm going here? So I was really happy about that. I was happy about a lot of things that he said and did. Okay? And so today I'm watching again. I didn't watch all of it because I get pretty tired in the evening time, and I'm done with the world. And I have an old dog I take care of, and he's a real pain in my ass a lot of times. I've had him for 16 years, almost 17 years. So the first thing, sorry, my nose itches. The first thing I want to show you is what I'd seen this evening, and I'm only showing you a clip. You can go on the White House YouTube and see the whole thing yourself. I don't know who this man is, and I'll look more into it in the morning time. So, Jimmy, roll the film.
So we're currently working on. Should I step on this? Okay. All right. No. I'm not that tall. I'm not that tall. Thank you, Mr. President. One of the most exciting things we're working on, using the tools that Sam and Masa are providing, is a cancer vaccine. It's very interesting. It turns out, I'll be quick. All of our cancers, cancer tumors, little fragments of those tumors float around in your blood. So you can do early cancer detection. If you can do using AI, you can do early cancer detection with a blood test. And using AI to look at the blood test, you can find the cancers that are actually seriously threatening the person. So we can, again, cancer diagnosis using AI has the promise of just being a simple blood test. Then beyond that, once we gene sequence that cancer tumor, you can then vaccinate the person design a vaccine for every individual person to vaccinate them against that cancer. And you can make that vaccine, that mRNA vaccine, you can make that robotically, again using AI, in about 48 hours. So imagine early cancer detection, the development of a cancer vaccine for your particular cancer aimed at you, and have that vaccine available in 48 hours. This is the promise of AI and the promise of the future.
Great, thanks.
So, wasn't there a big problem with those mRNA vaccines? Oh, and the other thing was we got our freedom of speech back, but we're about to find out. Because, you know, you're not allowed to talk about the brain interface. You're not allowed to talk about, what is that, getting all your boosters. I mean, why was Fauci pardoned? That sick son of a bitch. I've seen what he does. I've seen it. And I don't know how to explain how I saw it. I was sitting there and bam, I was somewhere else, and all they got, it's just hard to explain. I seen the hospital. There were several hospitals, and that was, I'm rambling. Why don't we try to stop poisoning everybody so they don't get so much cancer? Okay? Why don't we try that? Why don't we try not putting artificial stuff in our water when they tell you that, oh, well, the city of Cape Coral does, what's that water called? Reverse osmosis. But then they forget to tell you that after that, they dump some chemicals in it and then pump it out to you. Because if they don't, it'll corrode in the pipes and stuff. You know, the pipes will corrode. But we have all this technology, but we still live with forever chemicals in our water pipes that in most Florida houses are in the ceiling. So during the nice hot summer, those pipes get to warm up and give you more of those chemicals. Why don't we figure something out there about the things that are actually doing damage to everybody? And how about the fact that Big Sugar here in Florida has been poisoning our waters for years? We'll talk about that. I have to show the information because I'm not going to be one of those people who just say it and don't show it. So you know that I will come back with that, with the receipts, as the young folk call it. All right? So why don't we try to actually fix a problem and don't say that we have some kind of new technology that's going to fix the problem for us. We know that what the problem is. You're poisoning every fucking thing. Trying not to cuss. It needs to stop. So then, I'm watching, because I like to watch Forehead. That's what I call Lester Holt Forehead. And I watch it every night because I wanted to see what people that just watch their local news or nightly news or whatever, I want to see what they're seeing. So they showed this other thing. I saw a little bit of it earlier, but I tend not, and I'm going to be very specific about this, I tend not to watch people that speak like this right here. Roll the film, Jimmy.
Let me make one final plea, Mr. President. Millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand of a loving God. In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Some who fear for their lives. And the people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. They pay taxes and are good neighbors. They are faithful members of our churches and mosques, synagogues, wadara, and temples. I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away, and that you help those who are fleeing war zones and persecution in their own lands to find compassion and welcome here.
Were they in fear when they came across the border illegally? Were they in fear when some of them sold their children off to the traffickers so they could get to America? So as I see it, if you're going to come into America, you need to do it the right way. And another thing, no welfare should go to any immigrant or illegal immigrant. You didn't come here to live off the welfare system. You came here to have a better life. It ain't no one's job to feed you, okay? It ain't no one's job. You came here illegally. You came here and then you had a child as an anchor baby. No. Your birth certificate needs to be taken from you and you need to be sent back to your country. If you want to have a better country, then fight in your country. When you want to stand on our streets and protest because you want to be an illegal breaking the laws, right? Breaking the laws, and we should let you be here and you want to protest here. Why didn't you try doing that protesting back in your country so you would have better things? How about them apples? You know, half them people sell their children off. Murderers, rapists, drug dealers. There's people that wait years to get in this country that are upstanding citizens and they wait. But you think, and then you want to stand there and hold your Venezuela flag like, yay, bitch, if you want Venezuela, take you and your flag and get the fuck up out of America. That's how it should be. And I feel that way about every single country. If you want to be in America, be an American. This ain't Puerto Rico. This ain't Cuba. This ain't Venezuela. This ain't Italy. This ain't Ireland. This ain't fucking Davos. This ain't Europe. This is America. You want to be in America? Then you become an American. What's our language here? Broken up English. Learn it. I shouldn't have to learn Spanish to speak to people. Spain didn't win 400 years ago. You dig? When you want to blame Europeans and then you look and you see Spain is concluded with Europeans, where do you think Spanish-speaking countries come from? It's when Spain invaded those natives that were living in those areas. You want to be in this country and you're going to be like, oh, you're a nationalist, you're this, you're that. No, matter of fact, you read my name up there. That's what I am. I'm Angela fucking Fag. That's who I am. Excuse my language, but that's me, bro. Yeah, do I get a little excited and a little angry? Yeah, I do. You want to know why? Because I am from America. I am not Italian American. I am not any other thing but an American. Both of my parents were adopted. I have no family tree, and I'm not saying this for any damn sympathy because I don't even care about that shit anymore. What I'm saying is I'm an American. We started making a video on this years ago, and I got a few people that they say they're Americans too. And I think that we should go out on the streets and start asking people, because are you an American or are you from somewhere else? Are we going to start fighting for America and stop worrying about F for Ukraine, F for Europe, F the WHO. And another thing, this lady Bishop bitch, you know what we need? We need big ovary energy. And I ain't talking about these bitches that are all like, no, I want to talk about the real American hot dog eating, hamburger eating, pizza eating American girls that are working hard. Big ovary energy. Women that actually give a shit about children and not trying to cut their penis off or sew their vagina up. That's what they do. The whole reason why I started this channel was because of that shit. Because I saw the laws they were passing after Biden came into office. And I wrote a whole thing about it. I'm going to have to find that. And one of the parts in there was, because I wrote it out myself, one of the parts in there was, what are our little boys and girls going to be like in years from now? They go out on a date, right? They don't know if that's a boy or a girl, but they tell them that it's a girl. And then they find out later it's not a girl. What kind of psychological damage are you doing to those regular kids? You forced your kid to be that way. That's what you did, crazy ass lady with the whatever the fuck's wrong with you. We need real women. Women with the ovaries the size of, what is it? Who has the biggest nuts? What is those walruses? Anyways. You got these bitches out here going down the street in their pink pussy hats, right? Because that's what they call them, which is real disgusting. Okay? You ain't got no couth. You want to show your fat titties like that. Like, do you think? Ain't nobody want to see that shit. Nobody. And you think the rest of the world should give a shit about your perversions. I'm sick of you walking. No. We need women, real women. And I'm talking about women that when they stand there and them crazy ass bitches, because the power they have inside of them, they ain't gonna say nothing. Our churches have been taken. That was a woman, supposedly. And this whole, look, stop referring to people as trans woman or trans male. You ain't nothing. Okay? You ain't a trans woman. There ain't no such thing. Okay? You either born a man or a woman. Okay, because you decide to have perversion, whichever it is, your sexual perversions is what has got us here. Sexual perversions, okay? That's what got us here. So now we all have to know your sexual perversions, right? Give you a big round of applause. You like to take it up the ass. Good for you. You like a woman to strap on a penis and bang you with it. Yeah, that sounds like you're gay, right? Because you're still getting the penis, right? Get the fuck out of here with this shit. Excuse me? Maybe I should be a little calmer about it, right? A little calmer? No, I'm not going to be, because we need big ovary energy. You understand that? These women need to be taught a lesson. When you take your child and you mentally screw them up to the fact that they don't even know what they are, putting a fucking litter box in the room. And not only that, this goes out to all the parents. When you took your kid into that classroom, pre-kindergarten, and the teacher said, oh, this is the safe chair. What did you say to your kid? What you should have said to him is, buckle up. You don't be a little sissy and sit into that safe chair, because if you ain't safe in this class, you need to tell your mama so she can go down there and handle it. I don't like other people putting their sexual perversions on me, and I've had enough of it. I've had enough of it being jammed down my throat in every single TV show. It's everywhere. I mean, even some of the Christian shows are showing Sorry. No, I'm not. That's exactly how I feel. And it's making me hot, dude, because I'm sick of little kids being hurt by people. Okay, what was the next one I wanted? There was another one.
Gemstone.
Okay. So last time we talked about the crystals, right? We talked about the crystals and how now they changed it. Okay, so I brought up both of them. Jimmy actually brought them up so we could see both of them, the old and the new. The old one says, that the cell phones contain crystals, specifically quartz, and they, by their vibration, their frequency, they Okay, I'm back. So, and then like the other one, the new one says, yes, it holds it for the processor key speed. Quartz crystals are similar to those found in quartz watches. Explanation, blah, 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 right? So we got quartz crystals are used in most of our electronics to carry the time in it, right? We'll keep it simple. And I'm sure you know about, and if you don't, I will make sure to bring this up on the next one about the Hydro Collider. What is that? At Davos, the Hydro Collider. What is it called, Jimmy? The Hadron
Collider.
Hadron Collider pushes energy because they're trying to find the black hole or black matter or matter or whatever, right? Well, my point being is they're pushing that energy, that frequency into the earth, but Jimmy made this little video right here to show you all the places all over the earth. So my question is, do the quartz crystals and the other crystals that are in our earth is that holding the time of earth? I'm just wondering, because somebody out there has to know, and I think they do. It's mostly amethyst. If they're putting these frequencies and it's now making the magnetic field is moving, these are questions we should be asking. Like, why are you changing the vibration of everything? Because changing the vibration of the earth, I would think that maybe that would cause the weather to maybe do a few wacky things. But it's everywhere. There's crystals everywhere on every single continent. Right here we have Finnish and Lapland. They have amethyst there, and they have also quartz. What I find to be kind of like, okay, why is there amethyst almost on every continent? What's that about? I think everything has a reason, is my point. Everything that God put on this planet has a reason and has a use. And I also believe that they hide all these things and then try to tell you that it's some kind of foo-foo. How long is this video?
4 minutes.
4 minutes? Madagascar has a lot of different ones. Which a couple videos ago I talked about how some of those spirits told, was it Saul or Sol? It was Solomon, right? Solomon told Solomon if they had certain stones, these demons would leave them alone. You'll have to go back to that video, but if not, I'll bring it up either tomorrow or the next day, because I don't want to be one that just says things and doesn't show it, because I want people to have the knowledge to understand things. I'm not going to say that they're lying. I'm going to say they're not telling everything. They're not saying everything. There's a lot of stones. You get 4 minutes, and this is not like it's going pretty fast. You know what I'm saying? Like on the different continents. Look at the ones they got in Russia. Right. You don't even know. I think this is enough. You get the point of it, right? Like it's everywhere. Put it back to me, Jimmy. I was getting bored with it. It's too long. So we see that the crystals are everywhere in our planet. Okay, so what does that mean? And then they tell you that it holds the time in the processor controls the processor's clock speed. So are the crystals, is that what they're also doing for the planet? And if we're constantly vibrating things and making it, its frequency is different, then put it back on me, Jimmy. Distracted me. I'm looking over there to see what he's all messing around with back and forth, and it distracted me. So if there's crystals all over our planet, large caverns and stuff, would that also control the time of the planet? And with the vibration of the windmill farms and what they do at Davos and the hydro collider or whatever the fuck, and the one that they have outside of Chicago, I don't think anybody knows about that one yet. And there's no way for me to ever find the information on classified stuff, you know what I'm saying? I can only tell you what I've seen. So is that changing the time? Is that what's making the weather patterns do what they're doing? I mean, we can say they can only control things so much. They can only control things so much because the one person that is always in control is God, the creator of the whole earth and universe. So I notice a lot of these everybody's talking about end times, right? Oh, and winter is still coming. I don't know what 140, I'm going to, I think I need to make sure I say this. Winter is still coming. I had a dream about 142 days, and I don't know what that means. I checked the 142nd day was May 22nd, and then I looked up to see when Groundhog Day was, and it's somewhere around then. And if the freeze keeps going, it's going to be harder on the farmers. If the next freeze that comes through, if it goes down through Central Florida and affects the crops down here, we will definitely have a famine of greater than the Great Depression could ever see. You see, these people put a lot of things in motion that cannot be stopped now. Over the last few years, they've been killing millions and millions of poultry, beef, everything. They've just been culling everything because of bird flu. And with this freeze, and it's stopping some of the crops to be planted at the right times because of the frozen ground, it's going to cause a massive famine in America. That's just it, okay? And there's other things that are not going to be able, you see, we're going to go to war with the cartels in Mexico. And the president of Mexico already said something, but I already know we're going to war with them, and we will take Mexico, okay? A lot of people aren't going to like that, but I'm just sorry, but we're going to take Mexico. You're going to stop pushing your drugs into our country, okay? You're going to stop bringing and treating children the way that you do. And we will be taking Canada and Greenland and probably Cuba. And since that guy in Venezuela, America is about to grow. We're going to go all the way to the Panama Canal because that canal was built by us. We paid for it, and it is ours. A lot of things in Mexico, we give you a lot of business, right? But we're getting real sick of your cartel and how you're not winding them in. So maybe we need to take over there. This is what they're saying, okay? This is what's going on in these back rooms. Because it's enough is enough. I know there's going to be a fight in Canada because I saw it and I thought it was when the truckers were there, but they didn't do what I saw. And I'm going to give another video of that because I have to show you the streets so I can explain to you exactly what I saw. I saw the buildings. I saw everything. It was in Ottawa, which is weird because I didn't even know that place until the truckers were there. There's a lot of things. Couldn't find the video of whoever the guy was that told Oreo Express, we're going to find out who he is in our country. InfoWars had a little clip of him up there, and I saw that first responder was the one that actually recorded it. So tomorrow I'll try to find that little clip, which it's hard when you start looking through. These people don't do a few hours, dude. They do like 8 hours, 4 hours long, all live. Right there in your face, you get to see what's going on. So it's not the easiest to find. Now, I'm all over the place, and I know that I am because it's just how the fuck I work. So we have everybody telling us it's the end times, right? It's the end times. It's the end times. Expect this at the end times. Expect this, blah, blah. But what I want to know is, because they know the Bible, right? They know it so well. But before the end time comes, Jesus said, he said this right here. I got to get so I can see it. Yeah, pull it up, Baggins. I got to get the glasses on. Sorry, hair went all over the place. Okay. So it says, in the Bible, Jesus says that the Comforter will come in John 14:26, 15:26, and 16:7. The Comforter is the Holy Spirit who will be sent by the Father to teach and remind people of what Jesus has said. So, John 14:26. But the Comforter, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he will teach you all the things. John 15:26. But I will send you the Comforter from the Father. When he comes, he will give evidence about me. He is the Spirit of truth who comes from the Father. John 16:7. Nevertheless, I tell you the truth. It is expedient for you that I go away. For if I go not away, the Comforter will not come unto you. But if I depart, I will send him unto you. The word Comforter is a translation of the Greek word, Patakelos, whatever. You can read it there on the screen. I can't pronounce that. Which literally means called to the one's side. Okay? So my question is, back to me, Jimmy. Why do they talk about the end times, but I didn't see the Comforter come yet, you dig? Like, I'm not seeing... And why aren't they talking about that? Why aren't they talking about the one who comes before Jesus comes? Why is it that we just totally skip over that part? I've been wondering this for a few years. Because, you know, you went to school for it. I didn't. But most of these pastors, they went to all their pastor in school and all this other stuff, but nobody talks about the Comforters. But the end times are coming. So I just want to tell you, the end times aren't coming. It's going to feel like it, but you cannot force God's hand. That's for the bad ones, the evil ones. What does he call himself? Bazazazalel or whatever. I don't know. It's some stupid shit. He probably calls himself something else now. You cannot force God's hand. You tried to how many times? Didn't work, did it? See, you think that you can push it and push Jesus to come, but you can't. One, the people don't even remember yet the power that they have inside. So your pretend end times ain't gonna work. Promise you that. Because the Comforter comes first. The advocate, the one sent by the Father, who knows Jesus, who's Jesus's ace coon boon. They tight. They rode dogs. They down like 4 flat tires on a Cadillac. I just wanted to put that one in there because I like it. So why aren't all our people talking about that? Shouldn't the Comforter come first? Because they have to teach the people again about the power they hold within inside of them from Jesus. He showed you it before. But now you're going to have to be shown again because of all the stuff that these people who we do not know who they are. We don't know they, them. That's what I call them, they, them. They're the they, thems. We don't see them. We probably do see them, but we don't know who they are. So, I hope the Comforter does come soon. I hope people get to learn more about Jesus. And I know there's a lot of scholars and whatever out there. And they want to say all kinds of things about Jesus. First of all, I'll punch you in your fucking mouth. That's how I feel about it. I don't like people who talk shit about Jesus. It gets me right going. That's why I'm not allowed out in public places where people talk like that, because I'm not a normal person. I'm trying to learn to be better about that. I ain't gonna let no small ovary bitch get up in my face, you feeling me? Because I got large ovary energy. On that note, just know that famine is coming. Winter is still coming. I hope that we find the right answers to everything. I hope that someone knocks on my door or appears in my life that'll give me the real truth about everything. I'm asking God to do it all the time because I want to know the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I don't want make-believe anymore. And always, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you got pink, purple hair. I don't care what you look like. You need to hear it just like every other person out there needs to hear it. You are smart, you are beautiful, and you are important. Have a good night.
Messengers of truth you see, giving life to you and me. Birds above with wings so bright, carrying hope into the night. Songs of love we can't ignore, whispering secrets to our core. Water cool and purely clear, quenching thirst and washing fear. Flows through valleys ever free, a silent song, a gentle plea.
You is kind, you is smart, you is important. You is smart, you is kind, you is important.